I have a Darius story in the middle between the two poems.
Yes, all the stories.
All the stories! Okay, fuck, why can't I find this? I like to take my time. The delicacy of embracing spirals duplicates a foreign tendency to graph the landscape. It dizzies itself to become peer pressured, grows through movement as time. The foot following the other makes wind sound like steps howling. All I ever have be the roundabout draining through the concept of a mind. The brain bears logic when magic decides to leave the room. I'm barely in my body. I forget to conjure it here. I hone frequencies out of possibilities, masquerading as Sundays, and I take up space. I take up moons. I swallow ecstasies. I grin big and forget a face is what trains the world's eyes to fancy elegies. A meteor crash of a serious self, like how drunk and high and heartbroken the streets gonna leave me every weekend, laugh at the minstrel showcase of a conscious being. Who you gonna be today? The tenacity fingering fiction of the human condition, whose face you gonna sing today? Linger to bellow without teeth, aligned to a cosmic counseling, fly not to think, blend not to blur, the lines of irrefutable irony, the x-ray of a melancholic poet, drunk addled, drunken demon, dreary, drowning, desperate without cause. Who you gonna be today? Greet them at the astral. Tell them it was all a lie. Tell them this form is a second. Tell them to dread the spiraling, to enhance the spiraling, to force the spiraling, to manifest the spiraling, to embrace the spiraling, to distract the spiraling, to ride the spiraling, to stop the spiraling, to obliviate into madness and laugh at the fickle trickster who knows when to disappear into it all. I forget to laugh during the descent. The same self, the same question, take it all too seriously, the iridescent subject, the channeler, the menace, and the griot, the society and the society barking back at itself. Brisket doesn't talk only to kill the self. I was never here. I am never here. The here is never here. The moment counts down to consent. Singularity in the electrodes of a heart monitor, charred teeth, charred soul, frozen notes of fate awaiting the weight of its own feather and heart. Who you gonna be today at the center of infinite? The body proclaimed a black girl child. Each phase of puberty pronounced a testimony of humanity, yet the audience wasn't sold on the performance. Perchance power be in the voice of the child. A pistol trigger warning, the child wields an entity of fury through gritted teeth, the eye be collapsing. A primordial judgment to step foot on porous ground, philosophical unto extortion, burning passion unto exploitation. Violent for preservation, be the rage, don't perform it. Wear the rage, don't let it get stuck. Break the rage, don't fold it. Fiend the rage, don't fantasize. Surrender the rage, don't personalize. Drift the rage, don't escape. Stir the rage, don't let it build. Feminize the rage, don't father it. Transcend the rage, don't let it become you. Scope fallacies only to tell the truth. Be human always, but godless to your enemies. Be an enemy and reveal your palms to none. Appeal to no one and let your greatness parade for the masses. All the forces testifying for me to spit on. Laps forget that my gums have been numb for a pair of 8 weeks. I witnessed my foes erode to bloodlust. Every tasteless and varying attempt to harm my spirit will make a star out of me. I never needed nor wanted it in the first place. It's a setup. They can't humble the God behind my tongue. Who you gonna be tomorrow? Reveal too much. Say nothing at all. Fish for compliments in a sea of sharks. Dress finely only to let the wolves rip it to shreds. Prance in their clothing every Sunday. Become a dusted metaphor or two. Pretend to be a writer. Fancy yourself a rock star. Scoff at the ridiculousness of a principled poet. Hear the spoken word slam? They ain't saying shit at all. Disappear into the key or destroy flat. Gaslight the imagination. Gaslight your mama. Gaslight your friends. Gaslight the audience. Gaslight the you that plays Heyoka on stage. Gaslight your sisters. Gaslight the one man without a soul who claims to be your. Gaslight the city again. Gaslight the stage again. Pretend to have a name again. Pretend to have a name again. Again. Transcend the spiral. Die fiercely only to be born again. In the margins of this third eye, a monarch butterfly exercises the feeling of you to be blossom out of chaos. Honor the softness that craves to emanate from you. I care enough to enjoy the spectacle of myself. Charred innocence lingers its eyes into slumber. Camouflage youth and burn it to maturation. Fly north to eucalyptus. Forget the previous iteration of the soul's territory. Aim to testify upwards at the sky. Build this life as a temporary home. Chime exhales, brew a prolonged death. Cry for no more here, and what was, and what is, and what migrates, a heartbeat of endless topography. The shape of me conquers into regeneration. There are no values stationary in this grace, just an ounce of face daring to smile itself into oblivion. In order to heal, accept the close proximity to annihilation. Your nearest deathbed is a mirror. It looks a lot like my eyes. Depart from ego, design a framework composed of lotus blue, and let your cynicism dissipate. Magic. Are y'all ready for my Darius story? So I got my MA at Mills. I wasn't hanging out with the MFA people, thank God. But I remember being in a workshop, and one particular professor, Chong, he was going really hard on Darius's work one time, and I just got really defensive. I was like, no, stop. Like, some people in these spaces, you know, they get a little bit more critiqued because of the caliber that they perform at, but it was so important for me to defend the choices that he was making in his poetry. Because I felt it was bigger than that space. Right. It was for the people, it was for everybody. It was the larger thing in mind. So I was very defensive of Darius in that moment. And I just want to say, Darius, I will always defend you and your work. I'm very proud of you. And I'm honored to be here. And I got one more poem, and the show will go on. This is called Basquiat's Revenge. Today, I'm just a fat black bitch with a few good words. More than that, really, but a court jester at best. Every black poet waits in line for their 15 minutes, regurgitating the last one's sonnet into a lackluster spin-off. Every black man's poem reads, I was killed today. I'll be killed again tomorrow. America, you wish to consume or wear or fuck or frame my flesh. America, you were always America in the first place. Let us swallow our fists until the bruising bears resemblance of a broken chain. I'm never at your mercy. They calculate every move, hovering to see if the academy gonna take the soul out of me, as if I didn't sell it already in a Los Angeles basement in exchange for a simple day. 2016 got a few secrets on me. The devil got even more. I'm imperfect in the most perfect ways. No idealism penetrates the perilous nature of my pen. I see the southpaw stance of their spoken word from a mile away. I prefer an unorthodox rendering of my wicked tongue, a fading table sketch of an early Basquiat, a turned calamity from a violent cadence, a sicko's mindfuck. How far left can I take God's third eye? Let's see. A portrait. My Latinx cousin smoking meth in the bathroom. In the room over, her toddler watches a gay cartoon. A landscape of my African friend begging for my hand in marriage, for citizenship in a country that he doesn't even want to die in. A still life of my third abortion. No, my fourth. Graffiti of the line of coke I snorted the night before I moved to Oakland. I play God always. I'm as shameless as I paint myself to be. The black woman's poem reads, I was raped today. I'll be raped again tomorrow. America, you wish to consume and wear and fucking frame my flesh. America, you were always America in the first place. Let us swallow our blood until the bruising bears resemblance of a broken chain. I'm always at your mercy. They calculate every move, hovering to see if the loneliness gonna take the poetry out of me, as if I didn't offer everything in the Florida graveyard in exchange for a killer's aim. This is the second time I read that stanza. In the last piece, I refuse to bleed on this page, but bleeding is the only thing that seems worthy of your applause. Mimi, you screaming at the walls again. Mimi, you shouldn't write it like that. Mimi, just shut up and do the work. Mimi, play the game. Mimi, slow and steady wins the fake. Mimi, tell us about your next. Mimi, be nice. Mimi, be nice. Be nice. Mimi, be nice. Be nice. And maybe your 15 minutes will last longer than the nigga ahead of you. The chip on my shoulder, it got a what, Darius? A death wish. My arrogance can't even hide itself. It removed my head from the body and placed it off-center, left on canvas. The eyes dilate, lava hot. A whispering window shot up from skull, crack dances into the yellowing of teeth, a cigarette spawned. A telltale sign, too good for this willowing scene, vibrating in opposition to the onslaught reverberation. Safety tantalizes for luxury. I'm almost bourgeois bored. The reality is, if I don't hear the slit of the wrist transposed to the paint, then what the fuck are we dying for? To be representational. I forget to be here all the time. Grounded just isn't my thing. It's the ones who prance proper holy, who got the viciousness begging to crawl naked completely out their skin. Me, every wall was already taken. Every seedling of doubt was planted into a forest, decaying my wandering thoughts. Let's see how pretty I can make this frown look today. Thank you.